Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to be making this guy. Is a chameleon. He's made in a few different pieces, but with this tutorial you should be able to get through, and I'll go through all about construction and exactly how to make him. So yeah, he is my own creation, I might add, so feel free to add me onto Instagram and tag me with what you make. Today you're going to need a 3mm crochet hook. I'm using James C. Brett Party Time Chunky. You're going to need one skein of this, he uses a lot. Also, fibre fill and all the usual suspects like a stitch counter, stitch marker and a pair of scissors. And I'm also using some large dressmaking pins. This just helps to secure things in place for sewing, and just so you get it in exactly how you want it to look. So without any more of me talking, let's get on with it. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our 3mm crochet hook and our yarn for the main body, and start with a chain 5 loop. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and slip stitch into that first chain, just like that. And then we're going to place in 6 single crochets into the centre. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we can just give this a little pull. Right, so that was round 1. Round 2 is a single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll just do this on camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right, so that's the start of this project. What we're going to do is we are going to work in each stitch around. Don't need to put a stitch marker in, because what we're going to do is we're going to make this until it's at least 8 or 9 inches long. So that's usually, depending on what thickness, it's normally about 30 rounds, but you just have to gauge it from what yarn you're using. So what I'll do is I will see you after you've made your tail. Right, so after you've got the tail to the right length of what you want, make it quite long. This is about 43 to 45 rounds. So we're going to continue with the body now. So what we're going to do in the next round, which is round 3, is we're going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch around it until we get back to the stitch marker. So here's 1, 2, 3, it's a bit fiddly, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take the stitch marker away, and 2 more single crochets in that last stitch. 11, and this is number 12. Place your stitch marker back in the last stitch what you made, and continue on to round 4. So round 4 is 1 single crochet and then 2 in the next. So what we're going to do is 1 in the next stitch and 2 in the next for an increase. 1 in the next and 2 in the next. And we're going to continue this pattern until you get back to your stitch marker, where I will see you for round 5. Right, round number 5, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then an increase. So I'll just do this a couple of times. So 1, 2, and then 2 in the next one, in your third stitch. And again, 1 in the next one, 1 in the next, and 2 in the next. So we're going to continue this until we get round to the stitch marker, where I will see you for row number 6. Right, round number 6 is going to be 1 single crochet in the next 3 and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. And we're going to follow this pattern until we get all the way back to our stitch marker, where we will be then on round number 7. Right, so round number 7 is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and then an increase in your 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase into that 5th stitch. And I'll do that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase into your 5th. And you're going to continue with this pattern until you reach your stitch marker, where I will see you on round 8. Right, round number 8 is going to be 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches and then an increase. So I'll do that once with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. And I'll do that once more whilst I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. I'm going to continue on with this pattern until you reach your stitch marker, where we'll be back for round number 9. Right, so we're back on round number 9. So for rounds number 9 and round number 10, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you reach your marker, where I will see you back on round 11. Right, so we are going to continue with round number 11, and that's going to be 1 single crochet in the next 13, and then an increase. So 1 single stitch in the next 13, so that's 2, and then an increase. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, and then in the next one, an increase. And we're just going to continue until you get to your stitch marker, where I will see you on round number 12. Right, round number 12 is 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you get to your stitch marker, and I will see you on round number 13. Right, so round 13 is 1 single crochet in the next 14 stitches and then an increase. So I'll just do these first ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then an increase. And we're going to continue with this pattern until we get back to our stitch marker, where I will see you on round number 14. Right, so we're back on round 14. So round 14 to 19 is one single crochet in each stitch around. So I will see you back at row 20. Right, so now we're on round 20. What we're going to do is we're going to do one single crochet in the next 6 stitches and then 2 together. So I'll do that first couple with you and then you can work to the stitch marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then 2 together. So we go in, pull up loop, directly go into the next one and pull up loop. So we have 3 loops in our hook, yarn over and pull through. What you want to do is you want to always keep these decreasing stitches as tight as possible, because then it just makes the overall look of your little stuffed animal or whatever you're working on much better. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what we're going to do again, we're going to go in with a decrease and put 2 together. And I'm just going to put 1 more stitch in there so I can pause this video. So just keep working 6 single crochets and 2 together until you reach your stitch marker, where I will see you back at round 21. Right, so now we are on round 21 and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches and then 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 2 together. So go in, go into the next one, 3 loops and pull through all 3 and carry on. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and then 2 together again. So just continue the pattern until you reach your stitch marker, where we will be on round 22. Right, so now we are back on round 22. So round 22 and round 23 is 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So I will see you back at round 24. Right, so round 24 is going to be 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and then 2 together. So I'll just do those with you. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a decrease. So in the next stitch, go in the next for 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 and carry on with the pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and then a decrease. So we're just going to carry all the way on and with the same pattern until you get to your stitch marker, where I'll see you on round 25. Right, so here we are on round 25. So round 25 and round 26 is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I will see you back on round 27. Right, so we're getting there. So round 27 is going to be 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3 and a decrease. And again. 1, 2, 3 and a decrease. So you're going to continue this pattern until you reach your stitch marker, where I will see you back at round 28. Right, so round 28 and 29 is going to be 1 single stitch in each stitch around. Right, round 30, I think. Yeah, round 30. 1 single crochet in the next 2 and then 2 together. So I'll just do first couple. 1, 2 and 2 together. starts getting a bit difficult to work on with this top part closing in, but I will do my best. So 1, 2, and then 2 together. And just follow the sequence until you get back to your stitch marker, where I will see you on round 31. Right, round 31 and 32 is 1 single crochet in each stitch around. And I will see you back on round 33. Right, so before we go any further, I just want to take a couple minutes to stuff this part of the body before this hole closes up any further. So I'm just going to use a fibre fill, and I'm going to use a lot for this project because I want it nice and firm. So just keep on stuffing as much as you can in there, especially into this bottom area where you want the correct shape. I always prefer to put a little bit too much stuff in rather than not enough, because so it just gives a nice look overall, and as long as your stitches are tight enough, you're not going to see any gaps or anything like that. So make sure any little void areas are nice and plump. I'm going to put all of this in here for now. Can always put a little bit more in later, a little bit more in as we go. I just want to try and stretch this out a little bit. Just makes all your stitches nice and even. And give it a bit of a roll. Right, I think that will do quite nicely. You can see it's nice shape. Still squishes a little bit, but that's good. And you can normally feel with your fingers if you need to put any more stuffing in there, because if it's not fully stuffed, it will indent in a little bit, which just means to pop a little bit more stuffing in if it does that. So just on this side here, this side comes back out and that side doesn't, so just get a little bit more, just pop it in, spread it around a little bit, give it another roll again. Yep, and we're good to go. Right, so I will carry on with the pattern in just a few moments. Right, round 33 we're going to continue. So it's going to be 1 stitch in the first, 1 in the second, and an increase in the third. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2, and then an increase. Getting away from me there. 1, 2, and then an increase. Guessed it. 1, 2, and then an increase. This is really fiddly. 1, 2, and then an increase. One, 2, remove a stitch marker, and then an increase. And that's the end of round 33. So I will see you back on round 34. Right, round 34 is 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then an increase into the 4th. So I'll do that first one with you. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase into this 4th stitch, and just going to carry this round until you get to your stitch marker, where I will see you on round 35. Right, round 35 is 1 single crochet in the next 4 and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase, and just carry this pattern until you get back to your stitch marker, where I will see you on round 36. Right, round 36 to 40 is 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Right, so we've just done those rounds, and we're going to carry on round 41, which is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and then 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 together. I'll just do that one more time for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 together. I'm just going to carry this on until you reach your stitch marker, where I will see you at round 42. Right, so here we are at round 42, and we are just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around to the stitch marker. So I won't bore you to death, I will see you at the next round. Right, so round 43 we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, and 2 together. Make sure you keep them nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, 2 together. Carry this pattern on until you reach your stitch marker, where I will see you on round 44. Right, so now we're on round 44. So round 44 and round 45 are going to have 1 stitch in each crochet round. Right, round 46 is 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then 2 together. So 1, 2, and 2 together. 1, 2, and 2 together. This is getting even fiddly now. 1, 2, 2 together. I'll just do this round on camera, it's a short round. So 1, 2, I can see I've got 1 stitch there and 1 with my stitch marker in, so I'm going to take that marker out and crochet 2 stitches together. And before I go any further, I'm just going to take a little time to stuff its head. So I'll just grab some more fibre fill. So I'm going to put a decent, same with the body, always put slightly more in than what you actually think you need. Make sure you get back into this in-between area, because otherwise you're going to end up with a bit of a mess. Just keep stuffing it in there. So this is just regular fibre fill you can get from most craft stores. So I either use this or I buy pillow foams, cheap ones, because it's the same, very similar kind of stuffing. But if you're giving it to a child, then I do suggest getting the fibre fill from your craft store, just in case anybody asks you. But if it's something for a shelf or something what's not meant to be played with, then generally you use any stuffing what you feel comfortable with using. So now we have this kind of shape. We're getting there, and I will see you on the next round. Right, so I'm back again. So round 47 is 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you get back to your stitch marker. I won't do this on camera, and I will see you on round 48. Right, so round 48 is going to be one stitch in the next stitch, and then 2 together. So I'll try and get this in camera a little bit more. I will do this all on camera rather than disappearing away. So 1 single crochet and then 2 together. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm keeping this fibre fill away from the stitches I'm working on, so it doesn't end up all coming through your work. So 1 and then a decrease. One and then a decrease. And I can see I've got 3 stitches left, so I can take this marker away now and do 1 stitch in the next and then a decrease. Round 49, I'll just do this all on camera now because it's not going to take long. Round 49 is 1 single crochet in each stitch. Difficult to keep him in frame here because the way you have to position him to crochet him properly. And if you've got big hands, good luck. You're going to need it on this. And this is my last stitch. Right, round 50 is 2 together 6 times. So we're just going to go straight in for a decrease. That's 1. Decrease again. That's 2. Decrease again. 3. Decrease again. 4. Decrease again. 5. And this is going to be our last one, so I'm just going to take my stitch marker out. And there we have it. Now, this is where you want to close off your pattern and then leave the tail for sewing. But since I have this little hole here and this is pretty empty at the moment, I'm just going to get some more fibre fill. This is really awkward. I should have done this a few rows back, but in case you haven't, don't worry about it, because you can just get a crochet hook. I'm using just a big chunky plain plastic one, and you can start to put a little extra fluff in the end of it. Poke it in that little hole like this. So I will do this off camera, and then all you need to do is slip stitch into your next stitch and leave a good tail for sewing this end closed. Right, so the next part what we're going to make is we are going to make this eye piece, which when we're going to be sewing everything together, will get sewn on at the front with a safety eye. I've not put her back in here yet. I'll just because I was working on it, but these will get sewn on round about here. So you need to make 2 of these. Oh, that's going to look great. So yeah, make 2 of these. So let's get on with it. So we're going to start again with our 3mm crochet hook and our yarn, what we've been using to construct the body. And we're going to do a slip knot with a 5 chain loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Slip stitch into that first chain stitch to make your loop. And now we just want 6 single crochet into the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pull on this yarn tail a little bit, and then we're going to put in 2 single crochets in each stitch around to make 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 in total. So the next is going to be round 3. Pop a stitch marker in your last stitch so you don't lose it. And in this round we're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase. So 1 single, then an increase, and we're going to do this all the way around for this row until we get back to a stitch marker, but I'll just do all this on camera because it's a small piece to make. So don't forget 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. This is our last stitch in this round. So like always, take out your stitch marker and move it. Round 4, we're going to do 1 single stitch in the next 2 and then an increase. So that's 1, 2, an increase. 1, 2, then an increase. 1, 2, then an increase. And just keep doing this all the way around until you get to your stitch marker. I just need to get some more yarn out. So 1, 2, then increase. 1, 2, and take your stitch marker out, and that last one is an increase of 2 stitches. Right, I'm just going to get my other piece just to check size. So yeah, that's the last row of increases. What we're the last row, which is row number 5, is just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll just do all that with you. Normally have music on whilst I'm crocheting, but because of copyright, I'm really not allowed. Never mind. Just have to suffer away in silence. Right, I've just come up onto the last stitch there. So just one single crochet. Just going to check my other piece just to make sure it is the same size. Yes, that's the same. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the next stitch with a slip stitch. Just like this. And I'm going to leave a very good amount for sewing. Always better to give yourself a little bit extra for sewing, because you can always, you know, don't always need everything what you pull through, but if you pull through too little, you'll be kicking yourself later. And then just grab one out of here. So what I like about these eyes is you've already got a natural hole here, and then your safety eye will just get placed in the middle of that. And what I like about this yarn is the two separate colours, so when they go on, you know, it really gives it an individual look. These will get stuffed a little bit into this, but no, it's kind of cute. Right, so I'll see you on the next part of this video. Right, so for the next part of this video, what we're going to do is we are going to get a different colour yarn. Now this is similar, very similar to what I've been using so far, but as long as it's the same weight, that's fine. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making this back ridge and this little crown on his head. So they are a bit, this is a little bit fiddly, and this is really straightforward. So I'm just going to pop him to one side, and I'm going to get my number 3mm crochet hook and put a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to just start chaining. I'm going to chain 30 and see how long it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. Now you don't want to do these chains too tight, because we're going to be working straight into them. So on your chameleon, what you want to do is you want to place this chain on his back and see how far we get. So the idea is you just want to be going slightly onto his tail, but not too much. So I'm going to put an extra 4 chains on here and then have a look. So that's going to be 31, 32, 33 and 34. And then I'm going to place it back on here again. Right, that's about right length to what I need. So our next part of this is we're going to single crochet down one side and then single crochet up the other side. So go into the second loop with a single crochet and place a single crochet in until you get to the end. Now this is going to start curling up on you, but the second row will sort that out. So I will see you back on the second round. Right, so I'm just coming up to the end of working on this running chain here. So what I'm going to do is I have one more single crochet, so I'm going to place one in there, and then I need to get around that corner. So all we're going to do is place another one in here into the end, and then we're going to carry straight back on down the other side. So if you can see what I'm doing here, and then we're just going to work through the other side of this these chain stitches made. This side is a little bit trickier to get into, so take your time and make sure you're going into the right space here. And all we do is we carry on going, and when we get to the end, pop in a slip stitch and leave a very long tail for sewing, because this is going to get sewn all the way down here and back up the other side again, so be aware to leave enough for sewing. Right, on to the next part of this video, which is going to be the crown piece. Right, for the crown, what we're going to do is we are going to just put my little gecko back there. Is we are going to put a slip knot and a chain 5 loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then we're going to chain 3. So a little different now. And what we're going to do is we're going to work in double crochet now, and I'll count these in with you. We are going to count this first one. So to double crochet, yarn over, go through, pull up loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Just going to pull on this tail and have a look to see if we have enough stitches. Not quite. And one more. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and including this chain at the beginning we have 9. So that's just about the same as that. So what we're going to do is we are just going to pop in a slip stitch and leave a bit of a yarn tail. Pull this through, and that's the first part of this crown. So the second part is we're going to do the exact same again. So a slip knot with a chain 5 loop. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Chain 3. And put in 8 double crochets into that middle loop. So move him a little bit. So that's 1, 2, including my chain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So in total that should make 9. Don't forget we're counting that first chain 3 as a stitch, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got double check in case I needed one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, yeah, so I need one more in there. Let's just pop him through. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to connect them together. So there's a right side and a wrong side to these. It can be a little bit tricky to see. Even that's got me confused now. It doesn't take much some days. Right, so now I've actually got my sides together. What we want to do is we want to go through this first stitch right in the chain 3 and go in for a slip stitch, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work in the back loops only across this ridge here, and we are going to do single crochets. Now this is a little tedious, it is a little fiddly, so I do apologise, but if you just take your time. This yarn's a little thicker than my hook, so I will have problems with this. So the idea is not to go through the entire stitch itself, but just to get the both back loops, because then it's going to make a nice small ridge in the middle, because we're going to work some extra detail into here right at the very end. Even I'm struggling slightly with this, but just keep persevering, keep going. You know, if it doesn't look right first time, you know, just start again, take your time, and you will get it eventually. Right, we're just coming back up onto the other side now. The last stitch on the other side, you want to go through the entire both sides, so front and back loops. Right, so I'm back in this corner, so I'm just going to go through there, and then I'm going to go through there, pull through all lots, and put in a stitch. And then, as you can see, since it's raised up a little bit here, I'm just going to put another one in there as well for good measure. It's fine, don't worry about it. And then pull a good yarn tail for sewing. And then what you can do with these other yarn tails, since we've worked them in here, we can just stretch it out a little bit, just so to give it a little bit more access to the middle row of single crochets we've just done, as you can see there. And with these two yarn tails from your two side pieces, just tuck it in there, because then that means we don't have to put any stuffing in here, because these holes in the middle, so you're not going to see it, it's not going to come loose, it's not going anywhere. And you can also put this third one in there as well, because we just need one for sewing. And then you can flatten it a little bit. You don't want it to be like a dome. You just want it a little stuffed. Because then he's going to go on top of his head like this. You only need one of these. The only reason I've got one on here is because I'm having to kind of figure stuff out as I'm making it, and then repeating it to show you guys. So yeah. So let's carry on with the next part of the video. The next part of his videos is going to be its legs. So yeah, let's get on. Right, so we're going to start with his legs now. So make a chain 5 loop with 6 stitches, and that is round 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Go back into your first chain to make that loop, and then we're going to put 6 single crochets directly into the middle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Just give that yarn tail a little tug, and straight onto round 2 is going to be 1 stitch in each stitch around. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we're going there. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Don't forget to use your stitch markers to keep track. Round 3 is going to be 1 stitch in each stitch around again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next one's in my stitch marker. 6. Round 4 is going to be 1 stitch and then an increase. So 1, increase. This is really fiddly. I hate doing small bits like this, but I will survive it. Another stitch and an increase. And another stitch and an increase into that last one. Right, now we're going to work 5 rows in 1 stitch in each stitch, and then we'll be back. Right, so after you've completed those 5 rounds, this is what we end up with. I'll put quite a lot of fibre fill in this, or as much as you can get in this little piece. So what you want to do is you want to make another 4 of these, and then we'll be back. Right, so to do these toes, take your contrasting yarn, go in on the outside of this here, and pull through and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can give this yarn tail a bit of a tug, and then yarn over, go into the second stitch and start working your way down with half double crochets. It will loosen off a bit at the bottom, but you can just give it another pull, and 1 more, and then go in just next to it with a slip stitch and chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually chain 6, because I want one toe to be a little bit longer than the other, and work your way back down the row, working into the second chain from your hook with half double crochets again. And do I have one more there? No. And then just go in with a slip stitch and just directly pull through, because we're going to sew this. Right, so to get rid of cute little toes there. So to get rid of these, you just thread your needle, thread it through here a few times, and then bury your yarn tails, and the same with the other side. And I will see you for the final part of the video, which is putting this detail and sewing the tail. Right, so welcome back to the final part of this video. I've gone ahead and put all my legs and his toes on there, as you can see, as well as his eyes, and his back piece and his crown. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go in about here on his head with a slip stitch. this yarn I'm using is it's a similar kind of weight to what I've been using for the rest of it, so that's fine, but it is in a plain colour. You can use whatever colour you want as long as it's the same. And then I'm going to go in just further down underneath with a single crochet. This is going to get a little tricky. And then I'm going to go into the next one with a half double, which is just before the crown. Then I'm going to put in another one now in the same stitch, another half double crochet, and then I'm going to jump onto his head piece, and for the head piece we're going to just work in half double crochet, so just place one in each stitch. So it's nice and easy to work on for now. So I'm just placing one half double crochet in each stitch around along this piece, excuse me. So you will have to move him around a little bit so you can get in there. I find this quite tricky to do, so you guys, if you're following along, just take your time. You can pause this video, or you know, even I'm having trouble. Stay still. Right, I don't want to go all the way down into this crevice, into this gap here, because I physically can't get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see where this connects, and I'm going to put in a slip stitch just into his back piece to connect. You can always put an extra couple of stitches in the middle here when you're finished. Right, continue. Right, I'm going to do a single crochet in here, and another single crochet in the next space, then a half double, and then another half double, then a double, then another double, then a half double, then another half double, then a single. Stitches can be quite difficult to get in between, so just take your time with it. And then a half double, another half double. I think I'm just going to continue working half doubles down here until you get to the last few stitches, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, so I've been working half double crochets across here, and I'm just nearly to the end. So when you've only got a few stitches left, switch on to single crochet. So it doesn't have to be stitch by stitch with what I'm doing here, just so you get the general idea. And then what I want to do once I've got to this point is place another single crochet in the same one as your last one, so you have two, and then go onto its tail and place in a couple here. I will give you a little better look when I've put them in. So you want about 4 or 5 in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll just into the next one, slip stitch. I was just looking around there to make sure I've got scissors, which I have. So he looks like that. Right, on to the next part of the video. Right, so I've just threaded my needle onto this long yarn tail, and I'm going to place him so it's facing me this way, and I'm going to wrap his tail starting from the end, and I'm going to just wrap it in a spiral. I can reposition this to make sure this is right on top. So yeah, so the tail goes underneath his body, sort of, so it's like this. So I'm just going to put a couple of pins in here, so I don't have to hold it. If I can find the pins, there they are. I'm just using really long dressmaking pins with a nice big colourful bead on the end, so you can see them if you drop them. Right, now what I'm going to do is I want to go all the way through across here. So I'm just going to go straight in, and I'm going to carefully thread through the entire of all these of its tail, but I'm doing it in such a way where you're not going to see what colour it's sewn with, because it goes through the middle, so you can't see. But it will hold it all together. So I'm going to go through this back again once more, and then back again. Remember, don't pull it tight, because if you pull it tight, you're going to end up with a squished tail, and it's not going to be the right shape, and we don't want that. Right, I'm going to take some of these pins out now. And I'm just going to go back through once more. Can be a little bit fiddly. There we go. Now you've got a tail what should stay in place, and just so it's not hanging down a bit weird and looking funny, I am going to give it a couple of stitches underneath to connect it to its body, make sure it's evenly spaced, so it's not to one side or wonky, and just put in a couple of stitches directly underneath. These don't have to be incredibly tight, it's just to keep it in place. And I'm just going to go up through here again. That keeps it nice and in place. Sew it through. Thread it back through again. And I'm just going to cut that off there. And then with the other yarn tail, let's just get rid of this one on camera. Thread it through the loop to make a little knot, and I'm just going to take this one through to the back of his head, and we are done. Right, so this is our finished chameleon, sorry, even, yeah. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you keep coming back for more little tutorials. This has been quite a big one, but I have enjoyed doing it for you. Add me onto Instagram. I'd love to see your creations. I'm on Instagram as Crochet Kyle. You can find me quite easily. And until next time, keep stitching and keep creating. Bye.